So we're here at the Brighton 10k. Really looking forward to it. I'm not really sure what the roads hold in Brighton. It's looking like it could be quite windy. Training's been really going well. Racing's been going even better. Obviously, won the Danson Park Cross Country Kent League last week, which was my first ever Kent League cross country victory. So that was a cool little milestone to hit. But yeah, excited for it. Brighton 10k is important to me because I spent majority of the year injured and then took a little bit extra time out to finish my studies. So when I came back to training, I didn't think it would be this quick to kind of pack up full fitness. So I had February through till kind of the end of May out through with a stress fracture, and then I finished off June to basically get through my master's degree exams. So I had a lot of time away from running, and I'd always been taught growing up that every week out is 2 weeks back to fitness. So being as I had kind of 5 weeks out, I thought it would take me at least kind of 9-10 months to get back to full fitness, and now kind of 4 months back to running, I'm already in the best shape that I've ever been, or what feels like the best shape I've ever been. So it's important to me because I want to just prove to myself that it doesn't really matter how much time you have out, doesn't matter what happens to your body injury wise, like you can always come back from it. So it's a big milestone for me mentally as well. Training's been going really well. I've been doing most of it solo, most of it on my own, but I do 1 session a week with the Tunbridge boys down at the track at Tunbridge School. That's been really good, just kind of tucking in with athletes that are better than you and just letting them kind of do the work, and you just switch off a training session because it's just working hard. And that's been really good, and everyone's like kind of really professional there, so everyone just kind of switches on, training gets done, and it's to a good standard. And when I've been training alone, I've been enjoying it so much more because I've got that work-life balance now, and I'm actually, if anything, doing a lot less training now than I was when I set all my previous PBs. So when I set my previous PBs, I was probably running around 100 miles a week, 105 miles a week. Whereas at the moment I'm doing about 65, 70, 75, no more than that really. And I found that actually I'm recovering so much better and putting so much more time and dedication to recovery rather than just getting out for what some people would call like junk miles. So that's been really good. Because I haven't got the time to do as much mileage through work and through life chores, I guess, if you want to call them that, I'm then so much more looking forward to the runs when I do go out for runs, so then I make them count even more. So the work-life balance is so much better now that I'm working full-time, kind of doing what every normal adult does, whereas when I was a student it was a case of I'd get up, run, maybe go to uni for a few hours and then run again. So yeah, it's just my life revolved around running, whereas now it almost definitely revolves around work first and running second. My Coros predicts that I'll run 30:55, which is a PB, and typically with predictors on my Coros it's always been a little bit slower than I actually run on race day, which is obviously difficult for the watch to predict because of how supercompensation works, and some people really find they respond better on race day, having tapered the race day atmosphere, and I feel like I'm definitely a benefactor of that. I find I definitely do compensate quite a lot on race day and end up performing a lot better than training suggests. If the weather is perfect, which is unlikely to be because it's Brighton and seafront, then I could definitely see myself smashing my PB, which is 30:58, and training suggests that I can go quicker than that. Whether I can quite break 30 minutes, we'll see. Maybe it's unlikely at a first attempt, but I'm going to go out at a sub 30 pace or just sub 30 pace, so 3 minutes per K, and hold on for dear life. Essentially I'm going to give it a good go because I think I'm in the best position I've ever been in to break sub 30, and yeah, I think it's a possibility now, whereas in the past it hasn't always been. We're ready to go. Let's get the stuff and let's go. day. It's a little bit of a nippy one, but the wind isn't too bad. So hoping for a good performance today. Training's been going well. All fueled up on dark chocolate digestives. Because we got a lovely phone call from our hotel this morning to tell us that the breakfast that we'd ordered for 7 o'clock couldn't come till 8, by which time we would have left because the race starts at 9:30. So yeah, had to fall back onto some dark chocolate digestives, but they're pretty bloody tasty. So as I said, training's been going pretty well. In terms of goals for today's race, 10k, A goal, sub 30, it's got to be. B goal, sub 30, and then C goal. Well, there's plenty of C goals around here. But C goal would be a PB, so sub 30.58. And it feels like there's going to be a pretty good field. It's the 10k inter-counties race, so a lot of people representing their counties. I won't be representing Kent because I missed the deadline, but yeah, it just means there should be a decent calibre of athlete down here. So yeah, excited to see what we can do. It's basically an out and back, 5k out, 5k back. We're on the coast, so maybe a little bit of mild headwind on the way back based on the direction of the wind, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe I can tuck in and let someone else do the work. Here with my girlfriend Kaylee, and we're going to spend the weekend in Brighton and head to a spa this afternoon. So my treat is the race, her treat is the spa. So let's go. So the course is looking pretty flat. Gonna have a bit of a tailwind on the way out and a bit of a headwind on the way back. It doesn't feel too strong. I guess you never know until you're running at race pace. Looking about 15 miles an hour, 13 miles an hour winds, gusts up to 20, but I don't really know what that means. So just doing some drills, final preparations, and then yeah, head down to the start line. Course is kind of like a J shape, so you start down there, go to a loop, and then a longer tail like a fish hook, and then back. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Let's get it.
On the teams, come on,
go on, Jack. .30.05 unofficial. Jack Woods 30.07 unofficial. Then we go Tunbridge Wells in the white and the blue hoops. Absolutely brilliant, 30 and 7. How many protein balls do you reckon you get?
There won't be many minutes to go until we see the fastest of the ladies. The fastest
one protein
ladies,
ball.
3 of them, all
It's literally a free taster.
including a former winner in there. We'll see, we will see.
Oh, that was tough.
I think that flashing light there
Felt
may
so
be
good
an indication of the fastest lady.
5K.
We shall see, we shall see.
And then on the way back there's a slight incline
north
with the headwind,
flying through.
and I just looked, the elastic just snapped between me and the 3 boys in front. So
It's just silly, it's a silly
I was then
stat.
running alone, but
it's so fast.
it's so loud.
Well done,
We'll
Simon
have a proper
Coros.
debrief
Well done,
in a
Brownie,
little bit.
for this.
Oh.
Try the Knoops. Good?
How does the PB feel?
Beaver feels pretty good. There's more in the tank though, so So watch this. This is the start of the... What is she doing? What is she doing? The local neighbourhood fat Spider-Man. So the Brighton 10k overall, pretty good performance, but it is slightly bittersweet if I'm completely honest. After the race, myself and my partner Kaylee, we headed into Brighton town, did a little bit of shopping, got some food, got some coffee, etc. And it was quite good. Really busy, as you'd expect on a Sunday after a race. Here's the medal, Brighton 10k medal, lovely bit of bling. But moving on to the nitty gritty stuff. The race, what happened, how did it go? As I said, bittersweet. 30:23 is my official result, which is the 35-second PB. Cole, how are you not happy with that? And I am happy with that, let's not get confused. I'm absolutely over the moon with the 35-second PB. I know that sub 30 is in there, and that's why I'm a little bit not fully happy with it, if that makes sense. So the route is in a J shape, and for kilometers 2 to 6, you basically had tailwind, which was really good. It was really comfortable. We're not talking crazy tailwind, we're not talking crazy headwind, but I think it's about 10 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour, something like that. So the race started. Kilometer 1, I got very boxed in. To be honest, I didn't expect to be that close to the front, so I kind of let a lot of people just kind of go, and I was just sitting in, just trying to be patient, which actually ended up kind of screwing me over a little bit, because then I realised that a group of kind of 5 or 6 guys up the road with Adam Clark and Wagata, who I know from Ashford AC, they were going at the pace I wanted to go at, but I was 20 metres or 10, 15 metres off the back, boxed in, so I had to kind of weasel my way out and put in a bit of a surge to try and catch up to them, because if I was going to be running roughly the same pace, I didn't want to be doing it 15 metres behind on my own. So what I did during this race, and what I typically do during every race, and it's something that I recommend people do, is I manually lapped my watch. And what that means is, instead of it ticking off every 1 kilometre, when I get to the kilometre markers, I then reset my watch, which happens to be the Coros Pace Pro, which has just been an absolute game changer. This watch is levels above any other watch that I've had before. The AMOLED screen, it's top quality. Anyway, I digress. So at every kilometre marker, I lap my watch so I get an accurate reading, so even if the GPS is off, I've still got that base fundamental reading of just the time, how long it took me to get from the 1 kilometre marker to the 2 kilometre marker, so on and so forth. So my first kilometre was 3:05, so if you're thinking roughly about 30-minute 10k pace is what I was aiming for today. 5 seconds behind pace, which isn't an issue. I like to go off a little bit slower anyway, and if you'd said what's your perfect kind of opening kilometre for a sub 30, I'd probably say yeah, 3:05 is a good start. But it's the manner in which I ran that first K. The first 500 was probably at about 3:10, 3:15, and then I had to probably run about 2:55, 2:50 to catch up to the lead group, because I didn't want to be running alone. And then the second K, I lapped my watch with a 2:57, which is fine. We had a little bit of tailwind during the second K. Third K, 3:03, there was a lot of jostling, a lot of tripping each other up, so we slowed a tiny bit. And then the fourth K, 2:55, so people started to really start to work hard. 5th K, kind of getting towards Brighton Pier, out towards kind of close to where we turn around and come back. It was 2:58, and then 3 flat for the 6th K. So in between 5 and 6k is where you turn around. I think it's about 5.3k. So that 6k was kind of crucial, because it's when you had the turning point, and then also the first bit of like headwind, because pretty much kilometers 2 to 6 had tailwind, and kilometers 6 to 10 had headwind pretty much. So yeah, it was pretty crucial, that 6th kilometre, to make sure that you didn't kind of drop off the pace and just maintain, because that's where all the gaps seemed to start to occur. Dropped a few guys off the back of myself, and that's when the guys in front started to try and drop me as well. 7th K, 3:01, so still just managing to maintain that kind of that 30-minute 10k pace, and then that's when it kind of went tits up really, was from there on. At the 7th K, there's this ever so slight uphill. We're talking maybe 5-10 metres, but it's enough with the combination of the headwind just to make it that a little bit more difficult. So then when you've got someone of the calibre of Adam Clark at the front, and people know him as Clarky, he's a very established, very good road runner. He put in a little bit of a surge around that sort of point, and the group of 4 of us then broke down to a group of 3 because I could have maintained it maybe for another kilometre, but I wouldn't have been able to continue to the finish. So I had to keep going at my sort of effort level and just let that gap start to build. So then when you've got the combination of that slight headwind and then the elastic snapping between the group, and then I was basically on my own, so that's when it became very difficult. And what I mean by elastic snapping is that it's that kind of invisible elastic band that's kind of pulling you with a group along, and then once you get far enough, or once you get a big enough gap between yourself and the group, that's when I'd say like the elastic has snapped, when you don't feel like you're getting any benefit of or any feeling of running with the person that's just kind of left you, if that makes sense. And then yeah, as I said, the 8th, 9th and 10th kilometre were where the damage occurred, so 3:07, 3:07, 3:06, so that's where I lost that 20 seconds basically that would have got me that sub 30. And I kept telling myself that if it was within 10 seconds of possibility in the final K, I would get there. But I looked at my watch with basically 1 kilometre to go, and I knew I would have had to run like a 2:35, 2:40 kilometre, which I just knew was not going to happen. So I just managed to maintain the pace till the end and came away with I think the chip time is 3:22, so I'll have to wait and see which one goes on my Power 10. I think it'll be 3:22, which is obviously fantastic. And the Coros Pace Pro now predicts that I'll run a 14:43 5k, a 30:15 10k, and the most important one for me, or the most interesting one for me, is it predicts that I'll run a 65:53 half marathon, which would be pretty bloody incredible. I'd be pretty chuffed with that. So we'll have to wait and see obviously on that one. But yeah, in comparison to what it predicted me before the race, which is 30:55, obviously I absolutely annihilated that. But yeah, the Coros Pace Pro has been an absolute game changer in training. The AMOLED screen, 60% faster processing speeds than any of their other watches, so just in training, things like just saving your run afterwards, it just happens so much quicker. It's just been a real upgrade on the Pace 3, so highly recommend. And thank you Coros for sending me this watch. It is gifted, so you could say it's biased, but I've tried Garmin and it's just, Coros is just for runners. It's for runners. But after the race, my girlfriend was kind of saying, well, why are you not 100% happy with this? And she is right. Maybe I'm being a little bit tough on myself that I'm not 100% over the moon with the performance. I mean, I just ran a 36 second PB, especially after having so much time out. I mean, as I said at the start of the video, I've had a lot of time out through injury, and then studying a little bit, finishing my master's degree, and then getting into full-time work. And some people will know that I'm an osteopath, and that does have some benefits and drawbacks as a job. It's quite a physical job in terms of having to move a lot of legs and backs around. But one of the benefits is that I can kind of pick and choose my hours being self-employed, so that what that's led to is me doing less double days, because I haven't got time to fit 2 runs in a day, but it's given me the time to prioritise 1 run and do it properly in the day, so in daylight rather than when it's dark outside. So I've had less wet dark runs, but more kind of good quality morning daylight runs, which I think has definitely been a beneficial change to my training. Is less mileage, more quality, more recovery, and also just a better work-life running balance. In the past, when I was a student, prioritised running 100%. It was like I'd even consider skipping lectures to get out for a run if I wouldn't have time earlier or later. Whereas now it's like work has to come first, and then the running comes second. And I think that's actually a really healthy mindset to have, because well, it's led to me running so much better, and then running is that escape rather than me almost escaping from my running, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, 30:22 or 30:23. We wait for final confirmation, but yeah, pretty happy with that. Not quite 100% happy with that, but I think I'm not going to be 100% happy until it starts with a 29. So yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share with your running buddies, and yeah, next up for me is I haven't really got anything in the direct or short-term calendar. I've got the South of Thames Cross Country Championships on the 21st of December, but that's not really comparable to a road 10k, so we'll have to see how that goes. I'd like to get another 5 or 10k under my belt before then, but if there's any kind of ones that are appropriate, really, we'll have to wait and see. So anyway, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.